Good afternoon, I'm Jeb. I'm a sewer tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 124 Northeast 32nd Avenue here in Portland, Oregon. We're located in the basement of the home right next to the toilet and the basin sink. We have a 3-inch cast iron clean out of their point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Once we're at the base of the clean out, we'll zero the camera counter out there. Here we go. Looks like we've got a little standing water there right off the bat. We'll take a look at that on the way out. Alright, transitions here is 6-inch concrete. We do have a root intrusion. You can see the roots coming in there off to the right side of the screen. We're in 6-inch concrete here. Got more roots there, about 46 feet. We've got a fair amount of aggregate rock showing through here. This pipe has been around for a long time. It's got a fair amount of wear on it at this point. So far though, we have good flow, which is what you want. It gives you the option to do a trenchless repair. Here at 63 feet, we have another root intrusion. When you start getting roots throughout the entire line like this, there's no reason to even try and spot repair, especially with how well this pipe drains. This is a fantastic candidate so far to do a pipe liner. And it transitions here over to clay pipe. This is likely at the street curb area. We have roots and all the way out to that point there. We have roots out here right above the camera, currently at 80 feet. Now much of this clay pipe here is probably going to be the city's problem. You can still make it known to them. They will probably sit on it a while before messing with it. And here is the main lateral connection here at 87 feet. We're going to let the pipe drain out completely before reeling back. I'm also going to go locate to verify where the line terminates. Yeah, I located the camera head. I was getting a little bit of a bouncy signal, but I believe it's heading out to the main on Northeast 32nd. I'll confirm that when I do notice that it locates in a minute. Right. We're about 2 feet or so out into the street where we're just located there. We've got power lines directly over the sewer line at the curb, so I'm going to do a couple of sets of locates here just to double check everything. And right now the camera is underneath the grass curb strip, just about 2 feet prior to the curb. The depth here I'm getting, it's still a little bouncy, but it's bouncing between about 6 feet 8 inches and about 7'1". I've just written 7 feet out there with a white X right in that grass curb strip. And then just beyond that I have a white tee out into the street, where the line transitions from concrete to clay. Now, because we have roots throughout the entire line, that and the line is getting near eggshell condition with the amount of aggregate rock here showing through. I'd recommend a full update to the everything that's concrete and clay, or I guess up to the curb. Everything beyond that point's the city's problem. All right, we're just into the driveway, close to where the driveway meets the sidewalk area. About 5 feet deep there. I'm just be doing white dots in between the kind of end markings here, just showing the direction the pipe runs. And being that much, if not all of the line here, except for maybe the grass curb strip, it looks like pretty much the whole sinking line is under concrete. And given the fact this line drains properly, which is fantastic, you could probably do a liner on this and avoid digging any of it up. You may have to go in there with a jet and cut some of the roots back. Most of those are pretty short at this point. But I would definitely look into doing a trenchless liner on this. I think it would be a great candidate for it. Has ended up itself, the skeleton of the pipe here is functioning very nicely. Now, I don't want you to get that wrong. The line is functioning, but it's at the end of its lifespan here with roots in every joint. The aggregate rock that's showing through here, it's not going to be too much longer before the pipe wall has holes just opening up in it. Now, it's at that time where it just needs to be updated. About 4 feet deep there. We're getting pretty close to the garage here at this point, and there's the transition point. I'm going to get this mark just barely past here. The cast iron likes to impede the locate signal a little bit. I'll put a white T here, and then I have a white T. Well, there's an X right before the curb. That's really where the homeowner responsibility is at. That would be the end of the repair there. The end of the concrete section, though, is out in the street at the clay pipe. So I talked to a repair guy about where to take that repair, whether it's right at the curb or to the terracotta transition there, kind of up to you. But definitely look into a pipe liner. The whole line is under concrete except for about 3 feet of it under the grass curb strip. I think it's going to save an immense amount of money in this circumstance. If not that, I'd look into trenchless boring, but this line has very, very few turns in it. I think it would be a pretty easy liner job. All right, we're just a few feet outside the garage door here at 3 feet 4 inches deep. I have most of these depths marked on the ground out there, at least in the important spots. By the time it hits the curb, it's right around, I believe it was around 7 feet deep there. It starts at about 3.5 feet. If you are to dig it, which again, I do not recommend. The first and foremost option I would look into is doing a liner. If you have to trench up all that concrete, you're looking at a serious job. However, the driveway out there is showing a lot of cracking and stuff in it. It's quite old. So if you have plans to redo the driveway, then it would not be a terribly uncost-effective way to do the repair. If you're already pulling the driveway up, that's the most expensive part about fixing a line under concrete, is redoing the concrete itself. So look into that. I still think you're probably going to be money ahead to do the liner. It's much easier, and this line is almost a complete dead straight shot. I see no reason why they would not be able to put a liner down this thing. I'm going to go ahead and reel the camera out of the line here. There's one little spot I want to check on the way back in. It's literally right past the clean out here. I don't think it's really going to be a problem though. All the cast iron pipe we've scoped here is still in good condition, draining properly. So right here, we do have a little bit of ABS plastic pipe. This is something I'm not concerned about at all. I'm seeing no debris collecting here whatsoever. It's a very, very small little spot. We've got about a 1/4 inch of wire there for maybe 8 inches of pipe. So anyhow, all the pipe underneath the basement floor down here is still in good shape, doing its job, flowing nicely. And then all the pipe on the exterior still has good slope and grade to it and is flowing well, but we do have root intrusions in just about every pipe joint all the way out to the main lateral once you get into the concrete and the clay pipe there. I guess it's just concrete on property you'd have to deal with. The concrete itself is also in very rough condition, showing a lot of aggregate rock through. So it's time to just do an update on it before it gets to the point where the walls start collapsing in and opening holes up in it. I recommend a rescope, highly recommend it after the repair is done to make sure that it was done correctly. There is a surprising amount of repairs that are done that have issues all said and done, so it is worth doing. Anyway, minus the issues there, which is what makes it a candidate for a liner. The line is functioning at this time, as far as getting stuff from point A to point B. It's probably leaking water out along the way through those joints in the jagged concrete there, but it is still functioning, which lets you do the liner to it.